I discovered my college tuition fund had been spent on my brother's third chance at community college. I learned I was the family scapegoat during my senior year of high school when my guidance counselor called me in to discuss why I hadn't submitted any college applications. The deadline had passed 3 weeks earlier, but I'd never received the family financial information I needed to complete them. My guidance counselor, Mrs. Reynolds, was confused by my inaction given my exceptional transcript and class ranking. When she called my mother to her office, the truth finally emerged after uncomfortable hesitation. My college fund had been depleted to give my 23-year-old brother Jason his third chance at community college that night. I discovered the full extent of the situation. A substantial college fund built by my grandparents had been systematically emptied over 3 years to finance my brother's repeated attempts at college, his apartment, and his car. My parents justified this by saying Jason struggled more than I did and needed the help, while I would surely get scholarships because I was capable. This wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a lifelong pattern. When Jason failed classes, it was because teachers didn't understand his learning style. When I excelled, it was because school just comes easily to you. His mistakes were dismissed as boys being boys, while my minor oversights were evidence of irresponsibility and lack of consideration. For 18 years, I'd been held to impossible standards while my brother barely had standards at all. My accomplishments were expected and unremarkable. His smallest efforts were celebrated as major victories. With Mrs. Reynolds' help, I filed for financial aid independently and applied to schools with late deadlines. I received a partial scholarship to a state university, but my parents declined to contribute toward the remaining costs due to Jason's expenses turned the same week. I worked 2 jobs that summer and took out student loans. The night before leaving for college, I overheard my parents discussing Jason's latest academic probation. My father insisted he needed more support, adding that I would be fine on my own, because I always am. That was when I fully understood my ability to succeed despite their neglect had become their justification for continuing it. I graduated college with honors 4 years later, while Jason was on his 5th attempt at community college, still living at home. When I declined to move back after graduation, my mother seemed genuinely confused about why I wouldn't return to our close family. Today, my brother still lives in my parents' basement at 31. I live 3 states away and debt-free and haven't spent a holiday with them in years. Sometimes being written off as the responsible one means you eventually get to write your own story, far from those who never bothered to read it correctly in the first place.